Tonight on Rapid Response Code 1 Paramedics, has this mannequin finally met his match? We find out as we follow paramedic Matt and Luke Dyer.
Alright, looks like we've just been called to a man who's just fallen off his building. Sounds like he's got a bit of a TBI going on. We got first response on scene already, so we'll go back them up shortly. We get on scene, we need to assess the severity, and we also need to determine why he's fallen. Could just be as simple as a mechanical fall, but we need to make sure that we're not just treating the TBI. There might be an MI underlying, seizure, stroke, anything like that. So we'll head off and we'll find out shortly, won't we? Hi there, how you doing? I'm Matt, I'm your paramedic for today.
Oh, glad you're here.
Oh, don't mind the film crew, they're just on filming for Rapid Response Code Red Paramedics. Alright, tell me what's happened here.
Alright, so this is Bobby. He was just water blasting up from the second story and he fell about 6 metres.
6 metres?
Yeah, onto concrete.
Alright.
And upon surveying him, we found a contusion on the back of his head. It's a little bit groggy in the occiput.
Alright.
His respiratory...
Any other injuries?
No other injuries that we've found.
Cool.
His rest rate's a little bit irregular. It's running about 12 at the moment, 12 rests per minute. His heart rate, as you can see, is 50, and his blood pressure was about 160.
160 is solid, alright. So we've talked a little bit about our differentials in the ambulances before, but I do want to talk now about secondary brain injuries. So it looks like Luke's done a real good job giving him oxygen. We're treating hypoxia. We don't want hypoxia. That's really bad for our secondary brain injuries. We also want to maintain cerebral perfusion pressure. And to do that, we need to maintain a systolic blood pressure of 120 systolic. Luke's just told me that his systolic blood pressure is 160, so we probably won't be giving fluids as of yet.
Let's take a look at our scene.
Alright, so walked on scene, could immediately tell it was quite a severe TBI. We first thought right away then there was we need to reduce the risk of secondary brain injury. Our EMT did a really good job attaching oxygen, treating hypoxia. The other things we need to consider was hypovolemia, hyper and hypoventilation. All factors that compound together and increase the risk of cerebral edema, which can increase intracranial pressure and cause that secondary brain injury. So our patient was respirating himself at around 12 rests per minute. If he was under 8, we would consider getting the bag valve mask out and manually ventilating him. And our blood pressure was 160. So for a TBI patient, we need to maintain a blood pressure of 120, just to make sure we have adequate cerebral perfusion pressure. If it was below 120, we would have been giving fluids, but since it was 160, we withheld that. Alright, so we've just gained IV access. We have an 18 gauge in his ACF. The next thing we want to consider is backup. I think that our patient may warrant an RSI. The indications for RSI include a GCS of below 10, which we meet, and ventilatory or airway compromise, which we also meet. So I'm going to go ahead and call comms. AUT1 calls comms. Yeah, hi, we're just assessing a status 1 TBI patient. Ventilatory compromise with GCS of 5, requesting R50 backup for possible need of an RSI. Copy that, thank you. Alright, so we have R50 backup coming from Rosedale 3, they're about 2 minutes away. So we're going to start our RSI setup. Luke, you're doing a real good job there, but do you mind going in the scoop stretcher and getting instrumentation ready for me? Yep. Alright, I'm going to get my gear. Alright, well the first thing we're going to do when we're preparing for an RSI is set our oxygen demands. Our EMT has been onto it with the oxygen, we've got an acute mask on, but what we really want is some nasal prongs and normal breathing mask. So we're just going to take this off. So we use nasal prongs in an RSI to keep the patient oxygenated during the procedure of an RSI. They stay in, and and we'll valve that unconnected for now. We also want to connect this non-rebreather, and this just provides adequate free oxygenation for our period of no ventilation during the RSI. We'll get that on. We can run that at 10-15 liters a minute, so we'll set that up. It's on 15. It's good. The next thing we want to do is make sure that we have our non-invasive blood pressure connected, our SpO2 and our ECG. We have that connected. We also want to consider capnography. One of the contraindications for RSI is no capnography available, so we'll get that out and ready for when our ICP comes. We'll set out our BVM and our Thomas tube holder. So we'll just set out our BVM. We want PEEP set to a minimum of 5. We'll get that ready. Connect that up to some oxygen tubing. And get this Thomas tube holder under the patient's head. Nice and ready for the intubation tube. We also want to set up a second line if possible for our patient. I'll just get my kit. And give another 18 into the ACF. So I'll just verbalize that. I'll put that in. We also want to set up a running bag of fluids just in case we need it. I'm not going to run it just yet, but I am going to prep it. Make sure there's no air bubbles in the line. Cool. So we'll connect that to our IV, and that will just be there ready. We need to check our suction, that that's working. Just make sure it turns on. Yep, so that works. We need to get a second set of vials as well, so I'm just going to push the NIBP. Yeah. We also have continuous monitoring with our SpO2, our heart rate. I need to get a rest rate as well, so I'll take that. Lastly, I need to make sure that our scene is appropriate for our ICP. We need a space to the right side of the patient's head for RSI equipment. We need our ECG accessible and easily viewed. And we need to make sure that there's no clutter that is unnecessary that we can clear up. So just make sure our scene is nice and tidy. Yeah, just tidy it up for us. And that should be that. After we've thought we've got everything ready, we'll pull out our CPGs. Our CPGs contain a nice little checklist for us for RSI checklist, preparation for RSI checklist. So I can use those to just double check that I haven't missed anything. Going through them, it looks like I've covered everything. The only thing I haven't verbalized is that I place a towel under his head just to make sure that his airway is protected. We've got a nice neutral alignment with his airway. This C-collar will come off when RSI goes underway. The only thing left for me to do now is update my ICP on our patient's condition, some of their vital signs and stuff like that. So I might just go and do that. AU21 to Rosedale 3. Just updating you on our patient. We have a current rest rate of 9. A heart rate is still sitting around 50, and we have a blood pressure of 160 on 90. Your RSI equipment is ready and prepped. AU21 out.
Alright, so our backup's turned up. We got him in the back. We've got Dave Harrison with our patient in there. He's just performed a successful RSI. He did a real good job, but we do need to think about what happened if he had failed. Thank goodness he didn't. But we're allowed 2 attempts at an RSI. For the second attempt though, you do need to change something up, so that's as simple as changing the person who's doing it, adding a bougie, changing the positioning, anything like that. If that fails, there's a number of options. You always need to have your plan A, plan B, plan C, so forth. But simple things like going back to your BLS, airways, OPA, NPA, LMA. Our ICP though might decide to crike, a little slit in the throat, chuck a ETT down there, and we're off. But yeah, day's real good.
Up next, Cardioversion.
Hey,
Hi Luke, how you doing?
Good.
Give me a hand over.
Yeah, so this is Johnny. He's 70 years old. He called us because he was having palpitations. He was feeling dizzy. About 2 minutes before you arrived, he fell over and just became more unconscious. He grasped his chest as he fell over. He has a history of myocardial infarctions.
Yeah.
However, about 5 years ago. However, before he fell over, he described this pain as a different sort of pain.
Different. Okay.
Yeah. He's currently got a heart rate of 170 and a blood pressure of 70 over 40. His rest rate's fine at about 18.
Alright.
His VGL is 7.6.
Alright, so he's had a collapse 5 minutes ago. Okay, so we've got our airways. Good?
Yep.
He's breathing at 18. We got this sorted, but we've got the rubbish circulation. I felt here that we have absent radials.
Yep.
And we have a very weak central pulse on this carotid artery. So he had a fall. We need to think about differentials. What was his temperature? Did you get a temperature?
So his temperature was 37.
37, okay. So we're not really thinking sepsis. It doesn't fully rule out electrolyte imbalances. It's not the only thing that can cause electrolyte imbalances. So we still need to be aware of hyperkalemia and hyponatremia. Did you get a 3-lead for me? It looks quite bad over there. It looks like we're in a bit of a VT.
That's it, here it is.
Yep. Alright. Yep, so that is definitely looking like a VT, although we do need to consider SVT with a variancy. However, it doesn't change our treatment plan. We are going to need a cardiovert this patient. He is compromised. Can you call for backup, please? I need R50 for a status 1 patient. Okay, let's get ready for this cardioversion. So we're going to start setting up for our cardioversion. I'll get you to put some defib pads on, please, Luke. I'm going to make sure that our monitor is in manual mode and that we have the right energy selected. So for our adult patient, we're using maximum joules, 360 joules on a life pack 15. You got the defib pads on?
Yep.
Yep, alright, so I'm just going to hit the synchronize button. We're just going to sync. So we're looking, oh I took it off, my bad. So we're going to synchronizing spike at the top of every QRS. We're looking for a nice large QRS with minimal wandering baseline or anything like that. So we have a very nice reading here. We're placing the spike at the top of our QRS. Before we cardiovert, we need to consider sedation. However, our patient is GCS 8 and not obeying our commands, so we can't really give ketamine, which we would be doing normally, out of scope. Before I do cardiovert, do you have here CBGs? I just want to run through the cardioversion checklist. Alright, so we need to place our pads on our patient. We need to ensure the defibrillator is in manual mode, which we've done. We have chosen a nice lead with minimal artifact. That's a nice big QRS. We've synchronized, we've got a pacing spike above every lead, and we've considered our sedation. It's not indicated. We've got the right joules. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to actually perform the cardioversion. So Luke, I'm going to charge up the monitor. I'm going to get you to stand back, make sure that you're not touching the patient. Right, so that's just charging up. So I'm just going to be holding the charge button down to make sure the shock is delivered. Just stand clear, clear. Alright, our shock is being delivered. Now we're going to look for a change in our rhythm, in our patient condition. So if we print out here, we should, oh here you go, we've got a change in our rhythm. We're back to sinus rhythm. So cardioversion has been successful. Right, look, we'll get you to go get some extrication. We'll get him on the ambulance, get him en route. Okay. We've got our patient in the back, we've got him loaded up. We've had a successful cardioversion, we've reverted him back into sinus rhythm, really good. Normally we only get 2 attempts at cardioversion, so it's good that we get that in our first try. Just wanted to touch on something that I missed before, was that on our second attempt, often ECGs don't sync automatically, so we need to make sure that they sync on the second attempt as well. Right, with that in mind, let's head off to hospital.
Next week on Rapid Response Code 1 Paramedics. Tensions run high as we take a look in the editing studio where our paramedics reach breaking point. We take a look back scene where our paramedics consider a career change. And finally, we get to see paramedic Luke Dyer do the same thing all over again. See Luke Dyer's asking for identical scene reconstruction.
Yeah, it's getting hot in here, boy.
If you don't, you'll smell like Broderick.